The processes in relation to expression of interest, of course, we have decided to extend time. Political leadership. This part of the program was ably facilitated, of course, by MC for Economic Development and Tourism, Councillor Theodora Musala. The Deputy Executive Mayor, Councillor Lulama Titi Odili, opened the summit and welcomed all the delegates to submit and gave assurance that the doors of the city are opened and our local, national and international visitors must enjoy the tranquility of the city. I think this is the point that has been emphasized. We must be investments ready. There's no use to host something like this and we are not investment ready. I think the emphasis of us also approving the request on time has been put aptly clear. I've said to the officials as well that the red carpet that we've got here, we must have that red carpet when people come and make applications. It should not be, we are open for business, but so we are dealing with the red tape in that regard. The Executive Mayor, Councillor Greg Ntatisi, set the tone for the summit. He provided an overview of the concerted efforts of the leadership to stabilize the institution politically and administratively. The Executive Mayor re-emphasized the importance of partnerships with all stakeholders in our journey to rebuild the economy and include all of society in this journey. The Speaker of Council, Councillor Dr. Matai, is also the Provincial Chairperson of Salga, provided a message of support to the summit, emphasizing the importance of sustainability and resilience of projects and investments. The MEC Agriculture, Mel Sabi Rockman, who was representing the Premier, emphasized the need for a growing Free State economy that is diverse and growing. Then we had insightful, provocative, and constructive presentations from Mangaung officials, of course, just explaining that the city is indeed open for investments. We also mastered the Consul General of Indonesia, who also made reflections in this summit. As the city, we also presented our opportunities across sectors and proposed incentives for investors. I think we put that clear, including our investment, our incentives in relation to investments. On day 2, we had insights into our transport and logistics opportunities that we continue to unpack and present to investors. The 2 presentations on manufacturing provided us with a view that we as a municipality, as a province and as a country, we have the ability to produce all goods that we are currently importing. Lastly, second last, the smart and safe city unpacked issues of how we digitize and leverage technologies to advance service delivery and economy. Importantly, the issue of cybersecurity and safety, which are critical consideration in building this smart city. And of course, lastly, the surprise package was the reflection by the 2 MECs, which adds in terms of the vision that is taken by the Free State, with Mangaung at the center, literally and figuratively, at the heart of it all. So the Mangaung Investment Summit is not an event, but beginning of a journey, an introduction of culture of partnership and collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, the pledges and the commitment that we have exercised or experienced in the last 2 days should not be the end. You can still come and talk to us about any other possibilities. Please join us in this journey to build a better Mangaung, Free State and South Africa. I thank you as the Executive Mayor also joins the podium.
Chief Whip, I'm going to ask you to please also join us on the stage.
Thank you.
And MMC Theo. Thank you, Executive Mayor.
Thank you so much, Zee. I think I would need that stuff.
Do you need a podium? Let me just call the guys.
Not because I have to read. So we're not.
What happened to them?
Colleagues, thank you so much. Noctula, let me thank you for sterling work with all the team that came to the podium. Let me start by saying, ladies and gentlemen, when the two MECs were on the stage, Ntate Makume and Ntate Saki Mokoena, to me, whatever they said, however polite they might have sounded, it remains an instruction. They serve a structure senior than where I am, and I take my tune from them. So to you, big brothers, I'll say, I've heard you loud and clear, and I think we are going to accede to your instructions. I wouldn't want to demonstrate any other understanding other than they coming to us as an instruction. On the eve of the summit, ladies and gentlemen, I went to the University of the Free State, invited by a governance section of the institution to talk to students. And the topic was around the budget under the government of national unity. And I found sharp-minded young ones digging deep into the future. I'm not going to go into how flowing the debate were, but I want to talk about the take-homes. After instructing them to say, I need each institution to send us 5, despite the fact that it was at the eve of the event, that each institution of the 3 must send us each 5 students in different disciplines. I want to echo the sentiment that was raised by the police around issues of safety. But Ntate Mokoena, before I go into that, I want to demonstrate that although the Department of Education performs superlatively with regard to education, and as a result, they've put the Free State on the map, and our metro in particular. To us as a metro, we need to be a key stakeholder and around the issues that were raised by the student. One of the issues that they raised was that the type of accommodation in some punctuated area in the localities where we make them to hire is below par. And it being below par, it is done by either bogus business people or mischief makers or greedy individuals who are keen at looking at NSFAS funds and those parents that are really looking forward to see their kids succeeding in life. And they actually demonstrated that some of these things happen at our localities. And they caution me. Municipality must be responsible in ensuring that the accommodation provided to citizens is par excellence. So yes, Ntate Mokoena, we're tested on that. And we must bring sound systems. I must indicate that we have had a property in that. And that must address that part. Because if we don't, to us as a metro, the strength of what the education department is doing serves as a critical nodal point for economic sustainability. To sustain by accommodating the student and making sure that localities and individuals of note that harbor these kids in their backyards do pay their services. But equally so, that our economic nodal points does survive because these kids are here in their numbers. So the observation that was given by our able policing department is on point. And I was quite impressed, and the summary of what Ntate Duma gave around what the police are doing, despite the limitation. And for the police to be on point in terms of raising the issues that were raised to me by students, I'm quite thrilled and excited. Very, very excited. And upon coming back on the first day of the summit, I called Ntate Malefane, who does the Centlec entity, to say to him that the concerns that were raised by those students demand upon us to electrify the streets wherever they are moving up and down, despite all the effort that the police are doing. Because these things are done in dark corners. You can't say to the kids that are now at their youthful age, by 10 o'clock you should be in your backyard, at a time when they should be enjoying their freedom, to ease out from the frustrations of books and you know, the activities of the week. Allow them the space to live free and live under a proper parental care of a state, despite the fact that they will be far from their homes. So I spoke to Ntate Malefane to do so. But I want to echo the sentiments the police raised. And the sentiment that was raised by the panel, particularly when Johan was talking around the issue of property. I want to broaden the scope and say, each and every challenge that we face, despite the fact that we might be having an entity to handle it, but it's a problem that affects all of us. It takes a village to raise a child. So it does not mean when these kids are not in front of their parents, we should fail our parental responsibility when we're in the metro. It cannot be. And to exercise that responsibility, it means we must belong. We must belong to structures and bodies that must help join hands in the same way as many panelists were saying. The success story of all of us is to join hands. So equally, to see the safety of these kids that are in this city, we have to join hands with the police. We must. And I commit the metro. Starting with the week of Monday, I've got a cheese cop Ntate Khamanyane sitting there. I expect the metro to take an active role, this is Bongi, to make sure that you harang and bring all the forces together with those kids. It's about them, so we cannot do anything about them without them. We bring all of us together. We're going to strategize, and I'll be part of that envoy. We must strategize how to enhance the safety. It touched me. It really did touch me. And I promised them that I will act on that one. So I'm inviting all of you as moneyed people here that before we can even think about richness, there's lives that we must save and there's future that we must build. They said tomorrow that belongs to our hands and all of us must come together and let's see the success of that tomorrow. And that tomorrow, it is in this institution that I'm talking about. Let's save that life. It goes to women as well. It goes to women as well. Gone are the days where we are going to listen to a gentleman at the back there saying 3 mothers were marked by 3 silly boys and there was an onlooker somewhere. Gone are the days. We're not going to be onlookers ever again. We're going to act. We're going to act, and that action must be supported by the police so that we must not be seen to be committing a crime. If you do it on your own without the help of the police, you are committing a crime. So involve the police. So let's come together and work on this one. I had to really take a toll on this one because it is parenting that I'm inviting. My city manager has spoken about the expression of interest. But I want to just say, ladies and gentlemen, we were worried as a metro. Ndate Makume, we were worried. Our worry was informed by trying to bring people that we were under the impression that they share no interest with regard to the metro they live in. Those that belongs to the councillors, we do debate. We sometimes name and shame one another. I came with a critical analysis one day that embarrassed me, but I had to say it. To say our white folks in the metro, they own vast land of farms, they've got viable businesses that are holding, but they invest in the Cape. And then they go into the council and tell us how poor the metro is. I said it. It's a statement I may not regret to have said it, but a statement I know it was not palatable. And when it was said yesterday, I realized how right I was, despite the fact that I was regretting. We need to reach out to them. We need to reach out to them and impress upon them to realize that the best investment that they can do is this, where they are making money, so that should be perpetual in terms of enriching themselves than taking the money of a particular metro, investing it in another metro. It's killing us. It is really killing us. And then you come and tell us, is it because maybe they want to create their own little Bantu stand? We don't know. But if they do, there's another one created already called Onrania. So we can't have many, because the intention is that we are in the path of making sure that we end up living together as South Africans with no Bantu stands. So it's not going to help to want to create a particular corridor of the country and actually blend it a particular color. Can we work together? And for that, MEC, we decided that we are going to target people in the sector wherever they are. So with the series of the indabas that we are still going to have, our starting one is going to be in the space of agriculture, because that is also a central point of the activities that it contributes for now 7.5% of the metro. We must increase because the sector is strong. We've got a fresh produce market that we have. We have spoken about the cargo. Now, if we are to talk about product that MEC Saki was talking about, that must be transported fresh, especially those that are perishable. We need to have a contact with producers. And it remains in the main to be our white folks that have got farms and the knowledge economy. We need to reach out to them. So our next indaba, Pralaki, in the next and less than a month, I must be very strict, less than a month, that indaba should have said, to focus mainly into an element of agriculture and how we can tap with that resource. Granted, other municipalities in and around us produces a number of grain and other products. But we are at the center of creating, processing of those products for and in the interest of the Free State. So let us reach out and make sure that we tap with the agricultural bodies and out commit that just as we leave this indaba, we are going to engage the MEC of Agriculture to put a hand and help bring the resources that can help us have a successful one too. Bravos. So we are going there. But we are not limited to agriculture. We've got SMMEs that we must attend to in the form of hawkers, in the form of spaza shops. As we clean and organize that sector, we must ensure that it also thrives. But we also have SMMEs in the space of even all what we have been discussing here. That must also be brought in. We're also going to reach out at them. So that we must not be high-flown and leave some sectors of the society. And the assimilation of the big and small to begin to work towards making sure that we are together in this. In all the deliberations, I must indicate, at my shoulder I bear and carry what is called policy. And in implementing that policy, I'll have to ensure that youth, women, people with disability, veterans are also stakeholders in whatever product that is going to come out of all the processes that will be unfolding. It's my responsibility. And I know from time to time when people are honky-dory making whatever they are doing, they tend to want to be oblivious about some of the policy, responsibilities. So in a way, we shall have to engage one another. There are three ways in which I can reach out to them. I'll persuade that we do things together. But I'll also use example to ensure people that they realize that we have to do things together. The last one is that I'll have to force people to do things right. So I start well, persuasion. If they can't be persuaded, I'll use example to say it is done this way. If they can't buy into it, then we shall have to force people to understand that policy is done this way, and policy is what I must observe. But believe me, our policy are crafted in such a way that they are looking forward to create a better tomorrow for all of us. Perhaps some of those that are running away is when they think they cannot adhere to the policy here, it perhaps doesn't get exercised elsewhere. It is one policy, we are one state. Now, I've listened to the pledges, and my city manager is also right. Pledges must be converted into money. But I want to thank Dr. Kalani. I had a discussion with Dr. Kalani Tate Totomakume last night at a dinner. And then he spoke to a friend to say, there is an investment taking place in the Free State. The rest is history. This morning came 3 gentlemen, 1 Indian and 2 whites. You can see they are well fed, They came to the summit. We had to invite them in style. They didn't even have a tax, Pralaki. They drove. What I first respect is the discipline. When they were told what was the summit all about. This morning they came. Those are the ones who are threatening us with the 50 billion euros. They are threatening us with that money. I saw them, and then I said them to say, before they can make any pronouncement about their 50 billion, can they discuss with my officials so that I must be sure whether whatever they are going to say sound to be authentic. So far my officials are saying they've got a very convincing story, but as to whether the money is there or not, we don't know. But I'm excited about that. I was not worried about the 2 billion, the 500 million, and because some of those monies I've smelled them before. But this one. So that's why I had to set people on them to say, hey, look at this, and check if there is fiber for acceding. Even as I'm talking about it, I'm not really panicking, but what I'm worried about is that don't throw me with figures that are going to make me collapse, and then you don't do it, because I'll tell you one thing. We are doing this. I've got Ndatela Akide from AASD, Ntate Vusi from ANC. I've got I had my councillor from Freedom Front Plus yesterday. I don't know whether they're here today. I can see some of those from DA. All of us were excited that is going to happen. But let me tell you, when it collapses, even the council is going to be forgotten. Then my name is going to go down the drain. It's now about me. You see, we have made a very wrong thing in this country. I believe in we as I was brought up by Oliver Tambo. But when the president called, our President Mandela came into being, he started talking I, and the whole thing shifted from we to I. Now we are now reducing leadership to a single person. Now when it fails, see? So I'm going to make sure that we follow things and we follow through. We really do. I'm not going to talk about what my city manager spoke about, but I want to talk about, is it ENEXI, Annexi?
NXI.
NXI, what? ENXI. Whatever they are. They've got a convincing story, don't they? And when we were making our 10 on exhibition, we met with them yesterday. I was with the Freedom Front Councillor. You know, the name has just escaped me. What's her name again? No, the first name. Yeah? No, I'll expose her when I meet her. But then she said to me, we have debated in the council about laptops. So she said, well, I'm going to impress upon you and the council to buy the laptops from locally produced material. I was excited about it. But you see, the mistake that she was making is that me and her can't take that decisions there, even here. There is competitive bidding on that one. Now, I don't see my CFO. I was going to tell them that, look, inside all that discipline, find a way of trying to see if there is no a solicited bid, given that they are giving us 1,000 job opportunities and an established factory. I can't decide on that, but I am more inclined to say, I'll give such instruction to say, can you make a competitive bid? Because they are going to be longer here. They must actually bid a competitive bid so that we must actually begin to use our locally produced material. Otherwise, I can't say more rather than say, I want to celebrate them. I really want to celebrate them. They are bold, very bold. And you can see when they stand up and take the stage, they are sure of what they are doing. We need to stand by them in whichever way. And I would instruct city manager, when it comes to how we must literally come towards assisting them to get where they should work, should they have a problem, I think we need to be faster on that one, because in your, what do you call these things? In your invitation of expression, you also have factories. So let's see how we can utilize them. One lady was telling us how the police lady was telling us how wrong people are actually occupying those kind of buildings. So if there is a problem on that, they can refurbish and get that. That one, I'm saying it with pride. Joy, you know, you sound humble when you talk. Okay, Macho. You sound very humble when you talk, and but you are like still water. You sing so well, and you convince so much, and you know your subject. That really excited me to tell us how our network should be like, and emphasis to detail on those that we should take into consideration in terms of servicing them. Thank you very much for doing that. I think I did thank you, my police lady, by mastering your space. You really do. And that gave me a courage. You know, Ben, you are an aggressive businessman. shrewd, very shrewd. We need that. We really need that, you know. That you make your proposal while standing. As to how you manage to, I don't know. But as to the subject of it, it's really a bone of contention, and I agree with MEC Saki that some of these things that you guys say must really be harnessed in the manner that they can. But I can tell you, you can sell sand in Namibia. Where? Or diamond in Kimberley. Or gold in Gauteng. Mare, the best gold is this one. When and we have from the same gold, like the best is this one. That's what you are. But that, I think it should be the spirit of how people must be aggressive in business. That I'm still standing. Despite some of the historical background I might have had, is because I became aggressive when I realized that the sun was reaching on me. That's the aggression. Selling sand in Namibia. Marek scooping it from the many that is on the floor. I love it. Now, Sia, can you please, for the sake of me, stand up? I was told this morning that she's a finalist of
Mrs. South Africa.
Miss South Africa, eh?
Mrs.
Yeah. She's married to a priest, Ulafas. She's a wife to a priest. Wapona kerekele ne re shapa ka COVID ya Blumanda. Ke yona ke re se. Ke yona man. Otswara. Mara, I want to talk about Sia. And please, I'm putting Sia as on the spot because she's more my daughter than just a finalist. She's an engineer in her own right. Yes, she's an engineer. I think you are grade 6 now, or grade 5? Grade 5. She's a contractor by nature. No, look, Brasaki. Comrade Saki. Vus, Brasaki. Brasaki. Sia. She's a finalist for a Miss What. But a contractor in her own right and an engineer. But Sia worked for me whilst I was also in your space. As a little girl from school, pulling all the mucus on her cheek, making a Nike-like sign. And I want to believe Nike owes Sia because they saw that mucus on her cheek and realized that this is a good sign, and out of it they make Nike. And she grew up in the industry. And when she left my company, she became Sia on her own. Now, what I'm trying to demonstrate is that we can make it. If she makes, I'm proud of it. I run out of words when I must talk about Sia. Because each time I meet in occasions, I must embarrass her to tell people who is Sia. So, when you look at, you call it modeling? Is it modeling? Pageant. When you look at pageant, you realize there are those people who are, Lily Livat, smart and beauty. And some of them tend to be limited to that space. But Sia is a different breed altogether. You go to the construction site where there is a brick and mortar, you'll find her. You'll go to road where there is bitumen and asphalt, you'll find seer. Where there are scaffolds and all other related things that relates to construction industry, you'll find her. Aren't we proud of her? I'll forever be indebted to you, Sia, for really making me feel that I really did add value to your today and your tomorrow. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let me come to you. You know, last night, upon realizing how rich your contributions and deliberations were, as you went home or elsewhere, I want to demonstrate the discipline of the team I have. We went back to the office. We analyzed and gossiped about you. And in that gossip, we made sure that we are going to be on point in ensuring that we understood what you were saying, which we did. So we had a meeting which was called an assessment of the event last night. And we came back gun blazing to say, we are going to squeeze anything out of you. And we want to build that relationship with you, never for you to escape us. But we're worried. We're worried that you probably might not come back. You shocked us. You came in numbers and even came with new friends. We don't like you for that. We really don't. Because you frustrated our observation. But for that, we love you. We truly love you. You frustrated our observation because we thought perhaps we could not be in tandem. But the coming back, I can tell you, is a demonstration of determination, it's a demonstration of readiness, it's a demonstration of people that are willing and able. For that, we celebrate you. We really and truly celebrate you. Now, there's a part I must conclude with. And I said this, brother, like yesterday. I'm starting with you and your team as councillors. I'm going to my MMCs and I'm going to my official. I know you are proudly sitting there and you are expecting me to congratulate you. Let me tell you, you are mistaken. You are honestly mistaken, all of you, from all of you as councillors, to all of you as MMCs, and to you as officials, Noktula and your team, the city manager. You are so mistaken. Having outshined yourself, I understand. But I cannot praise a bird when it's flying, or celebrate a fish for swimming. I have got no energy to do so. You know, by life attrition, it's me that must die first, given all those that have been on the stage. If we have to die, according to life expectancy, then I'm the first one to go. With all the team that you saw, and I may also indicate, with all those councillors that I saw here, if death has to come by attrition, it's me first. The rest can fall. So you are going to be so unfortunate that if I die first, you may not get thank you from me. Lona, you are not going to get that from me. But by luck, and I'm saying by luck because congratulate, and then you die by luck, then I'll say thank you to you. That's the only time I'll say, here lies a man or a woman who through a test of time demonstrated the ability to take the country forward and the metro. Only then. Those I'm saying to them, don't expect it from me now. I don't have the energy to thank you. All I can tell you that just learn to know that I demand more to satisfy what we saw today. What we saw yesterday and today, I demand more. Because you might have outshined yourself, you might, in your mind. But science teaches that if you can do it, and then you should know it's easy. If it is difficult but you can still do it, then you should know that you can even do more. So why expect me to thank you? You're wrong. I don't have that on my side. For all I can thank is the event as a resounding success, worked upon by a team that comes from my corridor, and that I'm proud of. I'm talking about the team here. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the envisaged projects impact on policy, some of them impact on planning and duration, some of them may start today or tomorrow, others may, like the city manager was indicating, others as they unfold, some of us may not be here, not in terms of perhaps dying, but responsibilities do shift from time to time. The effort that I'm making reference to, please, let it not be alluded to individuals. As we go out here, let's celebrate ourselves to have put this effort in place, and let's make sure that it is sustainable. Is it usual, Johan, yesterday you were sitting here, the second fellow that was, is that the gentleman over there? The one who was sitting from the university. He kept on emphasizing a collective effort. That is about all of us in order for things to happen. That spirit, it really is Ubuntu. And then I met with a professor yesterday who gave me a book. You remember?
Dr. Van Niekerk.
Doctor?
Van Niekerk.
He gave me a book, doctor. He gave me a book about how development can be unbundled. At the center of his book, it was written Ubuntu. And then he was in pain to let me understand what is this Ubuntu all about. I thought, coming from a corridor of the township, a darky boy, I better understand Ubuntu. But the doctor gave me a lecture. And when I looked at what the doctor was saying, I realized an insurmountable
You can take this one, Major. Actually, I think, yeah, Major.
Yeah, this one is audible, eh? Now I was saying when the doctor was telling me about Ubuntu, I realized that we are scientific. And I really said to the doctor, I'm going to read and make sure that that is spread amongst all of us so that we must understand what does that mean. To us, but it was calling that we must work together and make sure that it happens. Now, the success of Mangaung, you have declared yourself that is in your hands. And I agree with you, ladies and gentlemen, I fully agree. So let's take our city forward. Let's make our province proud. Let's ensure that our communities live in conditions that are conducive. Let's indeed utilize any cent to where it is needed, and let's tap with all the resources that are there. Together we can, and together we shall. Now the theme that was put before us will hold us together. I want to thank you heartily and say, the Chief Whip is going to tell you how much we love you. I did try. I don't think I'm the best to do so. I have a limitation though. My limitation is that if you look at the people that were talking here, Bralaki, all of them were young. All of the people that were here were very, very young. It might have been me and the professor and the doctor that were here that could be at some age reasonable enough. But the rest of those, including those that were running the session, are young. I'm beginning to feel that the new is indeed rising and taking over from the old. I'm beginning to feel that way. And I'm feeling that way because the new that was on the stage was demonstrating knowledge economy enough to take the country forward. And that's what we need. So I'm going to also then ask people like me not to resist transformation. Because normally, what happens is that they would have worked hard for what is there. And they will always doubt that the new may not do well in what they've worked hard. But the demonstration that we saw yesterday says, don't panic. They are on point. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. We are nearing the end of our program. I would just like to call a few of the guests that we have here. MEC, please come up. MEC Makume. Mr. Francisco, please come up. Speaker, please come up. City Mayor CPP, please come up. Mam CB, please come up. Mayor Veronica, please come up. I'm putting you guys on the spot now. Arriba Connect. Executive Mayor, please come back. Hake so release Majoro. The program is mine. CM, please stand up. Chief Whip, please stand up. We're going to do a quick exercise. MMC, from us as the organizing team, Mentombi, please come up. From the organizing team, we've just arranged a few corporate gifts for our dignitaries. The embassies that have already left, we will be giving them to the IGR in the office of the Premier, and this, Councillor Mungali. Councillor Mungali, yes. Phew, all of them are tall. This is just a token of appreciation from us as a team Mangaung, from the whole institution, to say thank you for gracing our event. CM, ours is for the entire EMT. Rifa Wena for the whole EMT. Unfortunately, I wouldn't call all the colleagues, the Troika. We wouldn't call all MMCs and to be part, but Majoro, we believe that you will then receive the corporate gift on behalf of your whole MECO. Mentombi, we are giving this to you for being our program director today and yesterday. You've really assisted us. Mr. Francisco, thank you so much, and please do send our regards to the colleagues in Angola. Ntate Mungale, yours is the most special of them all. Deputy Mayor is back. Is she back? Yes, we'll give her because. Oh, maybe let's Mr. Chinchile, please come up, Sislu. Hey, I was saying, Tate Mungali, we are including you here because, not because we are trying to tame you in council, but because you've pushed us and you've traveled this journey with us for us to actually get to this event. You've crisscrossed provinces with us, pushing us to make sure that we are able to deliver a summit at Tshwanang le Deputy Mayor, thank you so much on behalf of the Troika and the entire MECO. We are saying thank you to all of you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to make you jump up and down. There's no exercise. It was just to say thank you very much for gracing our event. Thank you for pushing us. Thank you for supporting us. And I'm hoping this will mark the beginning of great things to come. MMC Theo, I would have wanted to give you a gift, my boss, but you made this possible. You shout at us, you make us run around, but I'm including you as part of the people that are standing here because MMC, you've really made this possible with the support of all the HODs, with all the MMCs, the organizing team. Thank you very much. Please do descend the stage. We will hand over to the Chief Whip to then finish off our program and give us a vote of thanks. Thank you.
Oh, when I'm about to come, then the podium and everything, it's expropriated. Ndate Kondile, you have Kondile, you have just expropriated the podium. So can you return it, please, quickly? It was easier for you to take it. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, the program directors. I am not going to take much of our time because by the look of the eyes, we were supposed to have concluded with our program. And as you all know, that the work of the person who's thanking everybody, or rather a person who's saying the vote of thanks, there is no easier work or job like that. The only thing that you just have to say when you stand up on the podium, you just have to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all of you, to all of you for attending these important events. And then we say goodbye, hambani kakuhle. But then I'm not going to say that now. I just want to say before I could even go further, start with the program directors, because normally the program directors, they are forgotten. It's not easy always when the program directors are being thanked, but I want to say MMC Musala, MMC Ntombi, HOD Tuli, and other colleagues, you've done a wonderful work. You were well prepared. You navigated with us. I think MMC and Ntombi indicated that you started with the helicopter and then you quickly changed from the helicopter to a Boeing so that you can warm it, and then so that when it takes off, you know basically that you have done a wonderful job. And while I'm there, I must also thank myself, because there's nobody who's going to thank me. So I must just say thank myself for being here, for listening to all the speakers, listening to everybody who spoke during the past day, including today. I want to thank my eyes and my ears, because indeed I was focused. I could hear everybody when he was talking. But before I could even go further, I just also want to indicate that for this important event to be so successful, there were people behind us who were making sure that it is indeed becoming what is it. And the sponsors of the event who came handy, who brought us everything that we have in the name of Limo Mall. I'm told that you guys, you are a platinum sponsor. I'm not sure about platinum, but Limo Mall, I'm told that you are a platinum sponsor. Big up to that. And then we have Coca-Cola, we have Nedbank, DKG Consultant, Double Ring Engineer, Old Mutual, and Vodacom. Guys, you made us shine. You
And
put
John
us
Williams.
on the spotlight.
John Williams.
Sorry? Oh, John Williams, Mercedes-Benz, how can I forget? They will end up not even want to sell the cars to us, and rather decides to leave Bloemfontein because we don't thank them properly. So guys, you made us so beautiful. And then, colleagues, I'm not going to go around the bush and say anything much. Let me also just recognize all the officials of the municipality, of course, under the leadership of the city manager, HOD Masubeng, the CFO. I think your presentations are the ones who made everybody who's sitting here to even stay longer, because they wanted to hear all about Mangaung. You gave it the way it is. You never hide anything. And for that, you made sure that the interest from the sponsors becomes even more. So we are happy for the presentation that you have provided to us, but not forgetting the political leadership of the institution. You know, when a person welcomes you, that person, she or he makes or break. If you knock at the door and someone opens the door with his face frowning, you turn left, right there at the door, and then you go back, you say, no, sorry, the wrong door. But because of the words of encouragement, the words of hope that the deputy mayor, when you were welcoming us, you gave, the executive mayor, when you were laying the foundation, when you were giving us the gist of what Mangaung is expected in relation to this summit, what is it that we want to achieve? I know many people came here wondering, what is it that we are going to do in Mangaung today? But all of you now, you know basically why are you in Mangaung, why were you here? You understood clearly. Our chairperson of SALGA, Dr. Matai, thanks also for making sure that you reaffirm the commitment of SALGA in supporting municipalities, not only the metro, you spoke about also the small municipalities. That is very wonderful. I think MMC Makume also indicated there to say we need to make sure that Mangaung becomes a beacon of hope and it becomes the torchbearer for the municipalities in the Free State. And indeed, MMC Makume, thank you very much for encouraging us further. Yourself and MEC Tebuo, including the standing premier who came yesterday and then graced us. But most of all, Sis Tuli, once more, you were a wonderful, wonderful host yesterday during the presentations, the panel discussions. You know, had it was not because of your insight and the knowledge, I'm sure the panelists would have said nothing here. But you pushed them, you make sure that you get the information out of them. Dr. Simelane, Mr. Itumeleng, and then our Mr. Tujuno from the Consul General of Republic of Indonesia. You were also a wonderful panel. You gave us an insight towards the economic, the economy that you find within the tourism sector. What is it that we can do? You reminded us to say, for us to make sure that our economy is resuscitated, we must understand these words, local is lekker. And if we don't understand that, then we're not going to do anything. Thank you very much to all of you colleagues. You clearly articulated that to us and then Mr. Zolani and Mr. Richards, you were also on spot on. You really have assisted us a lot in terms of the understanding. Dr. Nolwazi, Mr. Valentine, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Sneyman, thank you very much. You have shown us the opportunities that we have in the built environment. You've clearly articulated what we needed to hear. That is why, Executive Mayor, these pledges are coming. It is because Mangaung was sold between yesterday and today. And it was sold, and everybody now is eager to buy Mangaung in order to come here. And I think when the city manager was speaking, he said Mangaung should be a globally safe city to live in, to work in, and to invest in. We are happy that we called you here. So I'm sure all of you now, you are going to buy apartments here. You are going to stay in Mangaung. You are going to work in Mangaung. And we are going to get richer together. And this institution will be much better because of the economy that we are going to do. The issues of infrastructure development, you've assisted us a lot, colleagues. Thank you very much to all of you. And then I think, Kennel, thank you very much. Mr. King, Mr. Stefani, Mr. Muleye, you gave these investors that have came here a hope. You gave them confidence that Mangaung is not just an area, but Mangaung is a very safe area, it's a very safe environment. So bring those monies so that they can become safer with us here in Mangaung. Our environment will be safe. We are happy that, Colonel, you came forward, and the colleagues, and then you also dealt with this issue of the cyber network, including the improvement on the personal security that we are having around Mangaung. So anyone and everyone must feel safe in Mangaung, and then so that we can get the monies that we want. And I just want to also indicate, colleagues, that when they say, somebody said, "Re aithoma re aifetsa," and then "Hare aithoma re aifetsa," it means we started it. And when you started it, you are not going to just leave it. You are going to make sure that lenkomo sivusile, it was kneeling, this cow, it could not stand up, but today it can walk. And it's ready to make sure that it brings the belly of the cow, can bring more fruits for Mangaung. And we are happy that all of you came here. But most of all, colleagues, I want to thank every one of you who is in here. And the Majoro from Kabahaisaning Kamona, Kaleso Tumasiru, Re Tabile Haholo Kehobateng Hahau. We are really grateful that you also joined us. And that Francisco, we also acknowledge your presence, you being here with us. I know I expropriated the protocol of handling people like you. I am happy for that, and then I'm happy that you enjoyed and have confidence in the processes that are here. So, ladies and gentlemen, to all of us who graced this important event, I want to assure you that we started it, we are going to finish it. There's no easy. Executive Mayor, when he spoke, he said, yesterday when all of you left, we remained and we analyzed everything. And then while we were busy analyzing, we therefore said, we are going to make sure that from today and tomorrow and a day after tomorrow, there's work, and work. And then from our colleagues also from other municipalities, we have also acknowledged you and thank you very much for being part of us. And by saying so, Me Chagane, I think that's where my role comes to an end. And we say come back again in Mangaung, knock in the doors of the executive mayor, of the city manager and the CFO. We are waiting for those investments. We are waiting for you to come back, and we want you to come and have hope and enjoy the place called Mangaung, at the heart of it all, the center city, Perenyetso Singangata, the city of roses. Are banaba kha ke bana ba kha mang? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip. One reminder from me, if there's nothing that you took from what I said, please just remember that we've extended our expression of interest advert until the 7th of March.
Sure.
So it will then be closing on the 7th of March. Please do submit your expressions. Thank you. Goodbye.